Washington and Roy Roberts on my video from my phone. I've made the video. This is my computer. It restarted its thing, and I'm trying. You know, that's the thing. I suppose I ought to go through this. I mean, I've already done everything in here already, but I've had to do it alone. Yep. These are only a small quantity of the abuses that I've taken just to handle on. That's page 3, that's page 4. These are what I'm doing. These are what I'm experiencing. Me? No, ma'am. I was born in Scotts Bluff, but I'm from Boulder, Colorado. Boulder? Really? I'm here fleeing abuse after my best friend had her head blown off. Yeah, they got it all over the news and all over the media. Her name was Natalie Bollinger, and they got all sorts of web sleuth stuff about her. If you look her name up on the internet, you'll get to hear me screaming about how much the world sucks. I used to live on Table Mesa, and the King Supers that I used to go to on Table Mesa, gunman walks in and shoots a bunch of people. I was in prison when that happened, and here's the funny thing. I'm not a registered felon because I'm not a felon. They charged me with misdemeanors. I tried to turn in the Dual County Sheriff for his connection in Natalie's death, and also the subsequent follow-up or cover-up. Also his receptionist, Leslie Snell, and a registered sex offender named Robert Franklin Warnick, and investigator who is also a friend of mine in the Natalie Bollinger situation. And when I tried to turn them all in, they all worked together to make sure that I was locked up. They used their reputation to have me locked up just based on their word of honor. Yep. Well, because it's Colorado, they have, or because it's Nebraska, they have stuff called the County Safety Program, where if your county is too small, they can literally have you put in any county nearby or the prison to hold you until trial. So they tried calling me mentally ill, pretended that I was schizophrenic. The sheriff that I was trying to turn in ran around and told everybody I was schizophrenic. And that's something the cops have done pretty much non-stop with every homeless person I've ever known. They're mentally ill. Like, I'm autistic. It's the difference. Yeah, and so much of it for me is people don't know the difference between autism and schizophrenia, and they also don't understand that the term mentally ill is used to discredit the victims. If you have PTSD, you're mentally ill. They're trying to push a lot of these theories on people who are depressed. It's not just depression. Like, if we lock up the most likely people to do these things, we're not locking up the depressed people. We're talking very complicated situation. And then there's the part where because I'm a developmentally disabled American, I'm literally not supposed to do any of this without a family or a friend, but I don't have a family member or a friend. My family member is rescued, so we have to common. My little brother was a child molester, my grandpa was a child molester, my dad. Yeah, it's sad that like when it comes down, people don't have to work that. Yeah. And they don't It's sad that families are more interested in hiding the fact that there's one of those people in the family. But that guy was the actual victim. My friend Brittany, she was having to be a prostitute in Colorado because the whole family threw her away, told on her dad she wouldn't do it. Even after he went to prison for it, he still won't take her as part of the family. I mean, it's all your fault because you live in Philadelphia. I think that's where I'm supposed to live in Nebraska. I'm supposed to blame anybody darker than me, anyone lighter than me, anyone who speaks differently than me, is born in a different place than me, or has a different belief. I mean, Republican pride, go big red! Yeah, I'm a horrible liberal, and I'm a horrible Democrat, I'm a horrible Republican. I look at people as people. Last time I voted was for Barack Obama because I'm racist. I went, you know what, it's time to give a black person a try. Although I was going to vote for Colin Powell just because I like his beliefs. But he didn't finish. He said, oh, come on now. Oh. You follow her, don't you? Amber? Miss Lippy? Yeah. Is pretty important too. All right, I'm not sure how many years it's going to take for my computer to respond, but I'm going to go out and have a tobacco. If anybody tries to steal my stuff, just let them because it's not worth your life. Yeah, I thought that when they told me that at the Starbucks in Cheyenne, people still walked out with my stuff.
It's not very busy here.
Also, the same thing happened in Tacoma, Washington, and it wasn't on the cameras.
It's not very busy here, though. You don't see much in and out traffic as you do there. So
yeah,
it's okay.
I noticed all day long, it's me and the green-haired lady.
Ember? I like Ember. She's not going to take your stuff, I know that much.
I can remember her name. Because, all right, there's in Hood River, there was a Starbucks there. I totally take advantage of your safe place policy. I get messed with, so. Up there's a lady named Emberly, and that reminds me of a book series I read where there was a character named Amberly. So I used to tell her she was like Elven. Like, are you sure you're not like one of them mystical elves? Either that or when you guys are wearing the green smocks, I get to make fun of boss things say in the Earth Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
My God, I love the Avatar. I'm such a nerd.
I can't get into that.
I'm too old for cartoons and I still don't care.
I watch
Crime shows? I recommend looking up Natalie Bollinger's name. Well, then I definitely recommend looking up Natalie Bollinger's name. As soon as you have the opportunity, I can even write it down.
To do what?
I recommend looking up Natalie Bollinger's name. There's a lot of web sleuth type people that are really into that stuff, and a lot of them are psychos.
I think it's more the psychology based around it. That's what I went to school for, psychology.
Well, then I definitely recommend looking it
Because
up.
I like to know, like, the brain is so intriguing. Like, why people do what they do. You know what I mean?
I've been trying to show that. That's literally what my YouTube channel is dedicated to. Is it's literally the voices of the actual victims. Like a lot of people, in general, they say, "Oh, it's bad to do this to this group or that group." I'm like, the individuals within that have stories that aren't being fought for, so it's important to get to know them. Now, a lot of the true crime people, that's the thing about Natalie Bollinger, Sword and Scale, episode 109 and 110, Rob Gavigan, the Eyes On or something like that, Anna Salves. There's a whole bunch of them, and they all try to start off with calling me a stalker and a psycho who couldn't take no for an answer. I'm like, my God, that's not what the evidence shows.
All in the evidence.
But they won't look at it. That's the thing, is that they get to keep the evidence out by calling me mentally ill and pretending I'm schizophrenic. It's the best thing since sliced bread. You can take a whole class of people and separate them from your society, and they get to be blamed for everything. Like John Benet Ramsey tried blaming it on a homeless person. 4 Mile Fire tried blaming it on a homeless person.
Yeah.
It's popular, and they're easy to victimize because everybody assumes that they're either on drugs or mentally ill or both.
Yeah, that is true.
Yep. So apparently it's not your fault, it's mine.
No. I don't. I think that's why the brain is so intriguing to me.
That's why it's difficult for me, is most people aren't intrigued by the brain, so they don't understand neurodivergence.
I know, it makes me wonder why people lie, or why they want to go and kill people, or why they decide to do
My God, yes. See, that's the whole point. They tried to paint me as somebody who wants to go chop people up and feed them to their dogs and skin their dogs and skin their kids. And, I know people who talk about that stuff. It creeps me out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing about, I have people who approach me at random and threaten to kill me pretty much anywhere I go because they didn't finish watching the show. I'm like, at the end of the show, they catch the killer. His name's Joseph Michael Lopez. But the thing is, I'm still victimized over it to this day because I had to go to a bunch of mandated reporters who didn't want to do their job. They're like, oh, well, if you go to mental health, and then I'm being victimized until I have to move. Because instead of them helping me, they're like, all right, well, if you moved elsewhere, and then routine's important for somebody who's autistic, and I need to let you work. Yeah, I sometimes or often talk too much. Oh, come on, computer, work. These are the ways to start your day. Do what?
Have you ever watched The Good Doctor?
No, ma'am. What's it about?
Like an autistic doctor, where they like trying to mean that again, got me so smart that they learn to be like, okay, where is so it's so good.
My biggest problem is that people a lot of people knew I was smart. The moment that they found out I was autistic, all of a sudden everything that I say and do must be me being retarded, and I don't know the difference between being punched in the face and reality. I don't either, but the three main people that get that treatment, it's not just the word. Well, see, I mean it as a bad way. It's derogatory, and the reason that I use it is because people who are autistic, people with Down syndrome, and people with cerebral palsy are all called that. But the difference is that somebody who's autistic doesn't have visual markers, unless you're familiar with tics or motor function issues or stimming. But most people aren't, so they just assume that you're on drugs.
Yeah.
Like when I tell you I have Tourette syndrome, so if I wink at you, I'm not hitting on you. That's not a joke. I've had people beat me up for being gay, and I'm not gay. It's because I winked at them. Or because I was flirting with their girlfriend because I winked at them, or because they thought I was on drugs.
That's the point of like why people are in a relationship if you're not like confident. You know what I mean? I would never understand something like that. You're not going to come down like that.
Well, either way, I'm bald. I'm not going to go punching somebody in the head over somebody who's got baldness as a condition. It's a fancy name, but it's literally, it means bald. Indeed. Oh, come on. I'll be home for Christmas. It's only in my... fill in the blank. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. I'm dreaming of Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. And cooking pretzels and munching pretzels and singing just because we can. That's pretty much what I get. A little bit of weirdness. Hanging out with myself most of the time. Once in a while, I get to talk to somebody. That computer worked 6 years ago when I first got it so that I could replace the computer that was stolen. I let the cops have it for as long as they needed. But I also needed it to defend myself against these allegations and these predators. I needed a computer so that I could do these things myself, because having to rely on Candace Bondurant's work computer was not working. On the bright side, I can try singing once in a while to make myself feel better. The reverberations and all that. Sometimes we have verbal tics, those of us with Tourette syndrome, and sometimes it's a vocal stimulation or stimming. That can get kind of annoying for people, especially in public. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb. But a melody or a tune, that can help out. And that also, it doesn't seem as weird or odd or out of place. Alrighty then. Believe me, it's a time now to let them know what. I prefer to feel the deep bass reverberation, although it's more soothing for me as far as external sounds as a good female vocalist. That's what I prefer to listen to as far as music goes.
Also, depending on the song, there's sometimes more substance to it. Although you'd be surprised how many male songs have more substance than you can ever possibly imagine. And most of that's because you're lied to about men's emotions. Just because you hooked up with the only guy at the party willing to hook up with a drunk woman who's that drunk and throwing themselves at him, don't mean that it's every man's fault in the room that you ended up dating that guy, having kids with that guy, getting beaten by that guy, getting raped by that guy, and of course getting taken for every goddamn thing that you're worth. That's not every man in the room's fault. And if you're going to be divvying up the repercussions to people in the room, you got to understand that there's women there too. Why do we keep saying teach your boys? Teach your boys it's not okay to hit girls. Teach your boys it's not okay to hit girls. What are you teaching your girls? You're teaching her she gets to hit him once for free. And he's not allowed to hit her back. But how many once for frees is she going to take? And how often does she think that resets? If you think it resets every half a second for 30 minutes, you're out your fucking mind. Anyway, I'm having computer issues. I want to have hope, but I also know the sheer quantity of evidence that that there is, and I know that I gotta release the stuff with Siggy Lork, and I gotta pop out with the stuff from the Hood River Hospital, and also at the Hood River Police Department, and also at the Dalles, and the DHS there in the Dalles, and the treatment by Michael Child, and Jesus Christ, they made it difficult. And the lady who made a call with me finally yesterday, the problem is that she's not getting the point. If you don't look at the stuff that I sent you, and you claim that you did, and then you go out of your way to do the opposite, no, not acceptable. If you want to affect social change, you have to be the change. If I have to be an asshole to get heard, that's what I'll do. If I have to show your words to show that I told the truth about you, then I will do that. Just because somebody's nice doesn't mean they ain't sly. Now, realizing and recognizing that these people were not my friends, I realized and recognized that a long fucking time ago. Problem is, they kept sticking around. If you ever need anything, oh, Sean, if I can help you, Jesus fucking Christ. I keep telling you how you can help me. You keep making excuses. How about don't make fucking excuses? How about take a look at the evidence? How about instead of doing exactly the opposite of what a friend or family member would do, how about if you try that stuff? As a mandated reporter, you're limited in your scope. As a friend or family member, there is a lot that you can do. But have you tried those things? Nope, when you weren't ignoring me, you were making excuses and then ignoring me. Telling me nice things and then ignoring me some more. And that's detrimental to somebody who is severely going through a lot of abuse, has severe PTSD and autism, and is already victimized for being different. Our only protection is our friends and family. the scope of friends and family is familiarization. Familiarization with the patient, that'd be me. Without those people who are familiar with you having an active involvement in it, you're screwed. You are completely screwed. Now let's see if we can take this off and change it over. I've tried this before and I think I succeeded once or twice in changing the picture after the fact on my phone. I don't know for certain though. Anyway, it's good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Also, if y'all want to know the name of the man who is the reason that you are alive today, September 26th, 1983. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov. You know what he did? You should look his name up. He saved your life. If you're going to pray, pray to Stanislav Petrov. Thank him for your life. Yes, I get that he's Russian and Russians aren't popular, but Stanislav Petrov didn't do those things. He saved all of our lives by not following orders, by not doing what he was told, by not caring about protocol, and by thinking about human lives. What he was trained to do was stupid. And thank goodness the man was not stupid.